God bless you guys. I'm in Sweden in my hotel room, taking a quick break. Conference has been incredible. Grateful that I get to participate and share my experience, my perspective, what I think is valid and true and can add value to other people's lives. So we had a great time. I was well received. The message was well received. God moved, and we're ready to get out of here. Next stop, Boris. I'm probably saying it wrong. We're going to Boris in Sweden. Then I'm going to Gothenburg and Comstead. I see my Christopher and his wife and the crew and Mama and Lund. I'm grateful I get to do what I do. I try to stay right size, stay humble. It's easy to become arrogant and self righteous and think that you're something that you're not. You know, um, Everything I've learned, there's a book, someone shared it with me. We were talking about what was my process of change? Somebody asked me, the young guy, what was your process of change? And I just the three A's came to me, right? I said, you ever heard of three A's? He's like, what are the three A's? You know, Awareness, acceptance, and action. And I said, I had to become aware. I had to become conscious. I had to perceive this thing to be true, right? I needed knowledge and understanding that something was happening. And so obviously the beginning was my drug use. It was out of control. I was in denial. I would justify, I would rationalize, I would minimize. And I needed to, become aware, this is a thing, yo, check it out. This is the reality. This is feel this. One of the definitions of awareness is to perceive, to feel, to be conscious of. So I went from awareness to acceptance. That was where that's where transformation begins, right? If you're aware of something, that's cool, but doesn't mean you're willing to do anything about it. Doesn't mean that it really entered in. Many times I was aware that I had a problem, but I wasn't willing. I didn't accept it, so I didn't do nothing about it. And so once I accepted it, and I one of my definitions of acceptance is to receive without arguing. I always argued, try to defend myself, trying to, hold my post, and there was nothing to hold. And so I was aware of it. I accepted it. And I conceded into my innermost self. There's a line, and and then once you're aware and you accept it, then you take action. And I'm so grateful for 12-step recovery. I'm a proud member of 12-step recovery. I know a lot of my religious friends don't like 12-step recovery. That's cool. Um, 12-step recovery changed my life. I know a lot of 12-step recovery family friends don't like that I'm a Christian, that I preach the gospel. That's cool. Jesus Christ is everything to me. That relationship is what recovery has brought me in is, yeah, so you guys get it. So I got an army of people, a lot of people that don't like 12-step recovery. And I got a bunch of people that don't like my Christianity. And it's cool. If you're going to be successful in life, if you're going to achieve your dreams, if you're going to answer the call of God, if you're going to do something that's going to impact lives, you really cannot let other people's opinion of you, or what they say about you, or what they post about you, you can't let that influence you. Now, it's important to have a soundboard. It's important to have feedback, but when people just don't like what you're doing, it's okay. They don't gotta like what you're doing. I know, so the whole acceptance thing was big, and then the action, I took action. And that happens in every area of my life. I was working a job and somebody offended me. I went to this thing, and um, this guy said a job was, yeah, I don't even want to say it because it was offensive. And I was proud to be, I became employable for the first time in my life. I had a job, and he's saying, you're exchanging, time for money. And I was like, yeah, I'm exchanging, and then he said, well, who put the value on your time? And he began to make me aware. I became conscious of a particular perspective or a particular way of looking at things that I wasn't conscious of before. I became aware, like, yo, I go to work 8 hours. Maybe I take an hour to prepare, maybe I take an hour to get to work. Maybe I take an hour to get home. So that's like 11. I became aware of some things, like, and I wrestled with it, because I just wanted to get a job, 9 to 5, pay my bill, and somebody, somebody else made me aware of, just a particular way of thinking that I was stuck in. Most people, I didn't do good in school, so I was happy to be just employed. I was working with people, so that was good, helping people. And there's just different people elevated my perspective. People elevated my consciousness. I became aware, and then I accepted. This is true. I'm getting paid for 8 hours, but I'm really devoting 11 or 12 hours to this 8 hour job. And you're supposed to sleep 8 hours. The whole deal. Just the and somebody talked about entrepreneurship and made me aware that there's this thing that some people can learn it, some people have gifts, and it worked. I became aware of it. I accepted it. I took some action. And ministry, the whole ministry thing. I did an interview. It's coming out in the documentary thing. I did an interview, and in 2001, really 1996 is when I started. 1997, 1998, I was learning, but I had already started a recovery Bible study, but it was with another ministry. So in 2001, we started our own independent, Bible study. But I told the guy that was interviewing me, I said, who Christianity, starting a recovery Christian Bible study wasn't the most, if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to win a lot of people, like, it wasn't the greatest idea if you're thinking from a worldly perspective. Christianity is frowned upon. People misinterpret the Bible. People so many people that don't make Christianity look appealing. And but somebody made me aware that, you can be the example that you would like to have, or you want other people to have in recovery. And I became aware that you could be the guy, like you. And I was like, man, I could be the guy. I never went. I didn't come from church, and the excuses come. The enemy, the thinking, the limiting beliefs, all types of stuff happens. In 3 minutes, there's demonic stuff, there's issues surfacing, there's limiting beliefs, there's so many different things happen in 3 minutes or but somebody made me aware, why not you? And then somebody challenged me, if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? And that, people elevated my consciousness. People made me aware of certain things. And then I wrestled with ideas of, starting my own business and starting my own ministry and just different things, and all the stuff that I had to wrestle with within myself. Negative self-talk, the imposter syndrome. You're not qualified. Who do you think you are? And just but what I did, I took action. I accepted it. I could do it. Why not me? I could start a Bible study. I could invite this one and that one, and they don't got to come. I could invite them. It's just my responsibility. Hey, I'm doing this thing. You learn about the Bible and stick in the recovery. Just my thing was I always had this idea of working my 12-step recovery program and growing in my relationship with Jesus Christ. That if I could do those two things, two rails, I could drive this train. And it worked. Somebody made me aware, that you could do this. Like, why not you? Why don't you start a Bible study? Or why don't you start your own coaching business? Or why don't you start? And I accepted that, yeah, I could do this, and I took action. And many years later, I'm in Sweden, and I'm eating from the fruit of the process. There's a lot of things that I had to learn, a lot of things I had to grow through. I didn't just have to go through them; I had to grow through them. A lot of things I didn't know a lot of things. I probably still don't know a lot of things. I'm going to keep growing, but becoming aware that, you don't have to work for somebody. You could start your own thing. Get to LLC, and you can get that LLC, open a bank account, and and you could awareness, acceptance, and action. And even getting married. I became aware that, yo, you don't just, little boys have girlfriends, men have wives. That bothered me. I don't want to get married. I don't want to, but I saw other people getting married. I want to elevate I want to put my woman in a place of honor. And then the spiritual thing was, just there was, I became aware that, yo, you don't got to just live together, right? If she's the one, then why don't you put her in place of honor? Why don't just all this? But I became aware that there's another level of living, that you can't get married. I never thought I would get married. I got married. I'm gonna be 20 next month. No, in January, March 6th, I'll be married 25 years. Married 25 years. I was never gonna get married, but somebody made me aware that there's another level of life. There's another level of romance and intimacy and commitment. Right, signed the contract, and so I've been married 25 years. And on and on and on. I'm becoming, aware of this. Or you could do this and you could do that. And why not you? If he can do it, you can do it. And why so many wonderful, but if you're not aware of it, if it's not in your conscience, if you don't, now for me, I had to stop fighting certain things that God was trying to put in my life. Right? I remember the first time I heard that thing, I was young and I had a head full of hair and I was feeling myself. And the guy said, a man is not a man who sleeps with 1,000 different women. That's not a man. So you sleep with 1,000 different women. You think you're a man? He said, a man is a man who sleeps with one woman 1,000 different times. That thing was hot in the moment. That thing was like, ooh, it was sizzling. That thing hit me. But I fought it. I didn't like it. I'm Puerto Rican from Brooklyn. I'm young. All this, the world, and sometimes when something hits you, you can't escape it. At that moment, God used that guy to elevate my consciousness. Yeah, so you can get a lot of girls, but can you get a wife? I was like, ooh, I didn't like that. I don't want a wife, you know, but I was fighting it. I was fighting it. So I'm grateful for all the people who God used to elevate my consciousness, to help me see there's more, there's better, there's new levels. You can grow, you can ascend, you can elevate. You don't got to stay stuck where you at. I'm in recovery, and procrastination, right? And complacency are enemies of people, who are in long-term recovery. Not only in long-term recovery, but you could be apathetic. You could have, you could be struggling with procrastination and complacency in life. Just settle. I'm not a camper. I'm a climber. But somebody made me aware of that. I was able to. There's climbers, there's campers, and there's quitters. Ooh, that was hot when I heard it. Climbers, campers, and quitters. There's people that just want to chill. Like, okay, we're good. Don't start no more being on. Let's just start. Let's camp out. Let's draw a tent here. And then there's people that are climbers. I want more. I want more. I want to impact more lives. I want to see people get clean. I want to see people get saved. I want new levels of intimacy with my wife, romance with my wife. I want to make more money. You can't help people if you got no money, right? There's something, it takes money to help people. I was doing this thing on the Good Samaritan. If you know about the Good Samaritan, I'm gonna be doing it on a Sunday, but you can't be the Good Samaritan if you don't got no money to help the guy out, right? And so I need to make more money. Is okay. Money is spiritual, and I needed to become aware that, being spiritual doesn't mean being poor. It doesn't mean being absolutely, not the poverty gospel and not the prosperity gospel, but there's the gospel and there's a kingdom economy and money is spiritual. And I need to become aware that, my how I view money and how my personal relationship with money, and just I had to become aware that we have issues with money, and we have to address these issues with money, and your mindset, your money mindset, your kingdom economy, and so. But it was through awareness. Somebody had to present me this information. God had to send me a messenger. I had to see it somewhere, podcast, book, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, Instagram. I had to see something to become aware of it. Sometimes it's just not on our radar. And there's more life to experience. So I had this whole great conversation about awareness, acceptance, and action. Right. And I was able to, it's a simple recipe, but it's a lot in detail. So in this journey of life, I'm going to be 50. I'm aware, life starts at 50. Okay. I like that. Life starts at 50. Let's get it. I made a lot of mistakes. Now let's add up all the mistakes I made and let's work. Let's look at this halftime. Let's say I'm in halftime, right? When a football team goes into the locker room at halftime, they look at the plays that are not working, the plays that have not been successful, and look at the plays that are working and that have been successful. And let's run more of those plays, right? Taking an inventory. And so, but there's some things I'm aware of, from at 50, what I want a financial legacy. Yeah, I definitely am working on a spiritual legacy and the Ramos family, serving the Lord, and men and women who serve God and love God. And they demonstrate their love for God by their love for hurting people, right? That's a big deal. That's something that this year that I'm promoting, that you demonstrate your love for God, how deeply you love God, how much you love God will demonstrate, will show itself, will prove itself in how you love people. That's deep. That's a powerful one right there. And maybe you think you love God and you caught up in religion. Ooh, that hurts, you know. So just that's one of the things. So the Ramos family, we love God and we will demonstrate by the power of God that we love God by our love for hurting people, our love for people and serving people. So that's great. The Ramos family, my son, my daughter, my grandkids are coming up. She's 3, processing how that looks like, putting that in her DNA, but also the financial legacy. At 50, I'm realizing that, Bianca, I had to pay, certain buy Bianca books for college and pay tuition, and she needed a car and Easy Pass. She goes to school in Staten Island, and didn't plan for that. I wasn't aware. I didn't accept. I didn't do no action. So now for my grandkids, I'm aware. College costs money. And I accept that college costs money, and I wanted to take some action to make sure my kids can go, my grandkids go to college and not have to worry about stuff. And so, just on and on and on. There's awareness. You got to be open minded, right? You got to be open minded. You got to have open mind, open heart, so that God can speak to you. God can drop something on you. That God can bring something to you. And of course, you got to test the spirits, make sure it's God. And then if it is God, you want to accept that thing and you want to implement action. And so, yeah, I'm very grateful. I'm blessed. I miss my family in New York. I miss my dog. I miss my daughter. I miss my grandkid. We're going to California for 10 days after this. I'm going home real quick, take the family out for dinner, play with my dog, see my grandkids. And then I'm off to California for 10 days. And, we serve the Lord. This is what I do. I get to speak in different places. I get to train people, recovery coach training. It's been very powerful. Someone sent me a message that I quit my job in 2001. I tell people I went to work and I fired my boss. That sounds sexy. And, I went in, I did professional. I said, thank you for everything, 2-week notice. And, somebody told me, your time is the most expensive thing you got. Your time is your most valuable commodity. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what commodity. What do you mean? And they explained to me that you're never going to get this time back. That you get to. So I took my time back in 2001. So if I want to go to California for 10 days, I can go to California for 10 days. I'm going to go preach. I'm going to go speak. I'm going to go train people. I get to do what God has called me to do. I get to do what I'm passionate about. I get to, I want to impact as many lives as possible. And I get to impact them in rooms of recovery. I get to impact in the church. I get to impact in the coaching world. I got 3 different, tribes that I get to add value, speak life to, train. I get to be, you could step up, you could rise up. You don't got to settle for that. There's more available. And if they're willing to become aware, if they don't fight it off, okay, hear what I'm saying, see what I'm trying to show you, and accept it, and then implement some action, you can experience life transformation. And so I'm very grateful. I'm excited about these next 10 years, right? This conference here, they're talking about the next 10 years. I'm excited about the next 10 years of my life, right? I'll be 50 March 4th. March 4th is my birthday. Gifts is my love language. So if you love me, now you know. March 4th is my birthday. I'll be 50 years old. I'm excited about my 50s. I'm extra excited about my 50s. I'm excited about, I got goals. I got crazy stuff that I believe is going to happen. People say, well, why do you believe such crazy stuff? I said, well, I have faith in God, that God wants me to impact more lives, that God, he said, I want to live the abundant life. I want to live the abundant life. I'm not talking about the luxurious life. I want to live the quality of life, first of all, spiritually, peace, joy, the fruits of the Spirit, right? I want to have internal peace and joy and love and happiness, you guys, relationally, my family, I got close friends. And then now professionally, ministry wise, we're doing good. Professionally, monetarily, it's interesting. Never pursued money before. And so we're going to write a story. And why I believe that, listen, we've done it. We did it already. We did it already. We did it already. We did it several times over. We did it already. God has proven himself over and over and over again. If I put God first, you ever heard my legacy message? Put God first. Whatever area of your life you put God first in, will be blessed. So, all right. I didn't think I'd be so long in this video. I got to get ready to go downstairs. Finish well. Shout out to my Swedish family, Pink's family, LP family. Shout out to Pepe and Nina taking good care of me. Just grateful to God. I was a dirty, filthy drug addict, stupid kid. I was broken. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the kid that I was, which is cool. To have compassion. I was so lost, so dumb, right? So broken. So, I had no idea about anything. No clue about life. Everything I know about life was killing me. I was locked. My heart was hurt. I was angry and rageful and trying to, I was living in such desperate fear. And it's not like that no more. It's not like that. Incredible freedom I've experienced. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect by far. I'm not perfect, not perfect, not perfect. My claim to fame is Jesus Christ, his grace, his mercy, his faithfulness, not mine. I have not been faithful. Jesus has been faithful to me. He sent me incredible men and women who've blessed me, loved me, shared incredible truths with me, encouraged me, inspired me, fed me, clothed me, everything. Everything I have, I owe to God and the people he used to bless me and to teach me and to guide me. I was telling someone I have a hard time pronouncing shoulders for some reason. I don't know if it's my stroke that happened, but I'm standing on the shoulders of some mighty warriors, mighty warriors, mighty warriors. And so I intend to live out the legacy of faith. I intend to stay clean, and in my 12-step recovery process, even though people don't like that, that's cool. It's not for them to like, and they don't got to understand. I got to understand. This is the path that Christ marked out for me, and I love Jesus Christ, man. It's hard to explain. You know, I tried so many times. When you're so lost and you're so broken and you're so hurt and you're so lonely and you're so afraid and you got so much stress and so much anxiety and so much depression. It's, you know, when you was when and God and Jesus comes. You know, I never thought to be a Christian, right? But I'm so desperate. I'm so hurt. I'm going. And here I am. Listen, I surrender my life to the Lord. I repent of my sins. I confess Christ as Lord, and this incredible spiritual thing starts to happen. This relationship, and you start feeling. I start feeling true healing. True. I mean, I'm feeling now. How do you know I'm feeling? Because I don't gotta. When I was wounded and living in the stuff and the pain, and I had to. I needed to drink from that well. I needed to drink from that well. I needed to drink from that. The evidence was that I was so thirsty spiritually. I was drinking from dirty wells from the world. And when Jesus Christ began to heal my heart and work on my soul and renew my mind, I didn't have to drink from those dirty wells no more. That's how the proof is shown in how we live. And so, yeah, this is a long video. I didn't think it'd be so long. I'm sorry. But I think God spoke. I think dropped some nice jewels in there. Um, I'm a regular guy, regular guy. I did a presentation here, and there's a couple people coming up to me, and I'm just a regular guy. I learned some things. God has showed me some things, and I'm sharing them. So I love you guys. 26 minutes, 27 minutes. That's beautiful. Have a great day wherever you at. It's 4:16 p.m. right now in Sweden. That means I don't know what it means. It's early in the morning in New York. It's earlier in California. I see you guys in California. The 18th, I land in California. Excited, grateful, still in awe. I still can cry about it. Like I can't believe that I'm living this life. I was so lost. I was so lost. God bless you. God bless you.